Hi everybody, today is August the 9th and I'm doing some meal prep and I'm going to be using this 16 bean soup from Nutstop and I'm going to be following a recipe that I found online. I will link the recipe down below, so I'm going to be doing some prep work and then I'll show you guys how I cook it in the Instant Pot. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so I've gone ahead and pre-washed my veggies just to save some time. So I'm going to go ahead and start. The recipe calls for 2 carrots. So I'm using this Titan peeler, which is one of the best peelers I've ever used. Next is 1 onion. Next is 1 bell pepper. Next is 1 jalapeno. The recipe calls for 4 cups of vegetable broth. I am going to be using Better Than Bouillon. Do probably 5 to 6 teaspoons just to make sure that it's seasoned really well. So I'm going to put about 5 teaspoons. All right, so here's the 5th teaspoon. All right, let's see, what is next? So they calls for 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. All right, so 2 tablespoons of soy. And I realize I probably should have put my camera on the other side. It probably would have made it a little bit easier for you guys to see me chopping. These cooking videos will be a work in progress. Definitely out of my element doing this. Let's see, 1 can of fire roasted diced tomatoes. I couldn't find that. It also called for, let's see, it's a 7-ounce can of green chilies. Couldn't find that either. So I did get this 28-ounce Rotel, and I think I'm just going to use, I don't know, I guess 21 ounces. So I'll keep out maybe like a cup of this, and then the rest of it I'm going to throw in there. So Rotel. Alright, so there's a cup of this that I will just not be using. I'll use that in something else later. So the rest of this I'm going to throw into my Instant Pot. Okay. Alright, so the recipe calls for the tomatoes to be added last. I just dumped it in there. It'll be fine. Alright, next, let's see here. So the spinach does, well, I'm not using spinach, I'm going to add kale. That is at the end. So now I need the garlic. So garlic is, let's see, 3 cloves of garlic. I'm just using just Walmart brand minced, so I will put 3 teaspoons of garlic. And I like keeping teaspoons because who doesn't love garlic? So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. All right, next is 3/4 of a teaspoon of cumin. So I'm just using this little 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm going to put 3 of these in there. So there's 1, 2, 3. And then 3/4 of a teaspoon of thyme. So 3 of these. So here's 1, 2, 3. All right, next is, let's see here. Let me see, check my directions, see if my bay leaf goes in now. Yeah, so my bay leaf goes in now, so here is 1 bay leaf. If 1 is good, 2 is better. Is that right? How about 2? All right. So before I rinse my beans, I'm going to be adding 8 cups of water, which I'm just going to add now into my Instant Pot, which I cleaned off my work area, got my Instant Pot down, so I'm going to add the 8 cups of water. So this is a 2-cup measuring cup, so I'm going to add 4 of these. So there's 4 cups. 6 cups. 8 cups of water. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and rinse out my beans. So it looks like I had a couple of lentils escape, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and dump these in my Instant Pot. All right, so it says to put it on manual high pressure for 45 minutes. I'm going to grab just a wooden spoon and give this a quick stir since I've got that better than bouillon in there. I want to make sure that it is well dissolved. So you guys can see that really well. That looks so good. It smells amazing. All right, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. All right, so I'm going to hit, let's see, manual for 45 minutes. And then also make sure it's on sealing. We're gonna let it come to pressure, let it cook for 45 minutes, and let it naturally release, and then I will see you guys back here when it's done. All right, guys, so it has been quite a while. My Instant Pot was at about, I guess, 12 minutes or so in a natural release. I went ahead and put a towel over the top, moved a little seal over, and it's just clicked, so it's ready to be open. So let's see how this looks. Hopefully it doesn't steam up my phone too badly. Let me move this over here. Oh, wow. That actually looks really good. So it says after it does its natural release, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of lime juice, and I'm just using Great Value brand, so we'll put a little bit in here. So there's about 1 tablespoon. There's about 2. Let's stir that up, and now we're going to add some kale. Now this is I bought this huge bag of kale. I think it was right around 2 pounds, and I'm just going to grab 2 huge handfuls. Grab 2 huge handfuls and add it to this soup. So, and I've got big hands. So there's 1, and there's 2. So let's just stir this around, let it wilt a little bit, and then we'll take some out, stick it in a bowl, and taste it and see if it needs anything. Oh yeah, that looks really good. And I like that it's more of a soup and not a stew. I remember when my mom used to make it, it would be really, really thick, it was good, but I much prefer soup. All right, let me grab a spoon. Let's give this a taste and see if the broth tastes good. Oh, wow, that's good. That is good. It probably needs a little bit of salt, but I prefer to not cook with salt, and I will just add it at the end. Let me move my bowl over a little bit, trying to do this one-handed. And this is a huge, huge bowl. So this is what I am having for dinner tonight. Wow, that looks really beautiful. This is the completed soup with a few handfuls of kale. It tastes delicious. It needs a little bit of salt, but I typically do not cook with salt. I just add it at the end. And so I am excited. This is what I'll be having for dinner tonight. Thanks so much for joining me today and hanging out with me in the kitchen. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.